Sktv menyo. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enyi lofa emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget now. Toss you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the local and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We started a podcast and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best in Africa. And Sktv, it is the best around the world. What a way to say the pleasant good evening to all of you, our dear channel listeners. Those of you always running your batteries and all of your data and making sure that you follow all of our programs or the show right here on Truth FM 96.1. Let me say a wonderful good evening. And today, wow, the month of April is gradually winding down. 2 more days to go, and we'll be saying bye-bye to the month of April. So that means if you have something to do, some of you will maybe call you have your resolution. Maybe you and sometimes we go to church and tell the papa that papa I know that your sister here or your picking here, papa maybe you and the papa you made some promise that before April end things will get better. Because some of us how we live. We will always go to the papier and make some requests. So April is about to end. And I don't know, some of you, maybe you're thinking about getting maybe connected, but the last Saturday already gone. Maybe between now to Wednesday, who knows? Maybe things will get, maybe you will find that person. But again, folks, good evening. Let me recognize a few of you. Please like, comment, and share. Today is Monday. All things on a consideration today, all things usually Monday we do it like that with open mic. People come here, they talk. But if you want to maybe comment Quran, that's it. If you want to comment numbers, right now we're in the what kind of dramatic, is that what kind of words to, I think a dramatic situation that we're in now. So either Quran numbers either increase or decrease. They're going to interesting. Just put anyone. I will read it. Yeah, so Travis Bachu, good evening to you. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean 1%. I agree, my man. That's good. But did you get Wahala? Oh, says Rue Roberts, I gave up on you. I don't know some of you now how you look. I hope, what? No, some of you get afraid. Look. I haven't seen any kind of female gladiator like that. They can find so many females, you see them. So, yeah, that's good. So, people, let's share the show. Good evening to all of you. Sebastian William, good evening to you, my dear friend and brother. Sebastian William, Robert Fasulu Jackley, also good evening to you. Emmett Hammond, my dear friend and brother. Yeah, but for my birthday will be on Thursday. Yeah, every time when I think about my birthday, I think about the Burkina Faso president. For grandchild. That's going to be interesting. For a grandchild to be performing more than even the father, that means something wrong somewhere. Elizabeth Bowen, good evening to you. People, please, let's share the show. Mong will soon be here with us. With them. The team from Nimba County, they will soon be here also with us. And that Muna will also be here with us very, very soon. They are all setting up behind the same. Please, let's share the show, people. Yeah, either you put anytime you want to recommend, either you say Coro, numbers increase or numbers decrease. Look, we don't look that now I know that in this country, we are not serious. Let me be frank, we're not serious in the country. While the other people are moving forward, our own power continue to even move backward. So people, share the show. Yeah, let's share the show. Mong will be joining us very, very soon. So any of these things that you want to read, just read it. If that quorum, you read quorum. If that numbers, if that read number, or very good. Or if the resolution. Yeah, look, look, this country. Please, if you want to do, I don't know what about trouble. Yeah, I can be missing like already. Yeah, to admit, still doing oh, you see, you better rule the world like about business. So I'm thinking that even if I travel tomorrow, I'm thinking because I miss Liberia almost every day of my life because Liberia interesting, indeed. So either quorum numbers increase or numbers decrease, or what again resolution. Which one again? You have been naming this in and before we forget. Which one again? Okay, still do because no matter that Jalo sharp. No, the country interesting. Monk said it or Monk will be joining us very, very soon. Jalo people yes, but they say we get Jalo sharp now to capital building. No, the country. Look, you are your mate. Look, like you are your mate. Let me tell some of you. In fact, I'm looking for that old man. You got to look for that old man for me. We got to interview Buaka that baby. Or still don't do what? So we get Jalo sharp to capital building. So we get all these things there now. Let's talk. Read your comment. Don't feel free, you. There's freedom of speech. So we get numbers increase or decrease. People, they say people switch a lot of people jumping from where some people don't cross over more than 5 times. But Monk is here, my dear brother. Let me say good evening to you, Monk. I have it, my dear. Okay, I don't know why you stay setting up. If you stay setting up, then later on.
Hello?
Yes, I'm getting you. While I'm waiting for you. So yes. So go ahead.
Hey, boy, can you hear me?
I'm getting you loud and clear, my dear brother. Everything. Well,
no,
I'm
doing great and following the drama. It's too much drama to keep track of. I didn't even waste my time. It's just too much drama, and I don't like to confuse myself. It gets too much happening, and there's no control. You don't have a sense of who's in control. So that's it. But we predicted this anyway.
My brother, look. But which one? Because I'm naming some of these things. Mom, help me too. I'm naming the steel raw, or not a steel raw, or steel dough, or what gonna do? I don't know. Look, so get Jalo sharp. And then some of you won't go buy tea and bread. Go there straight. Let them serve you. They will give you tea and bread. So we
get the sad part. The funniest thing that caught my attention. You got some speaker who is installing some or how do you call it? Some steel panel doors, and the man who painted the Capitol building sent the day of buffer chambers yet to get paid. It tells you about the country. I think Liberia is just a lost cause in a waste of time. Trust me. Yeah.
Well, that's great. But since we just starting, and Mr. Kane just joined. Mr. Kane, we just starting, and we talking about some of the things happening that they still do. The number decrease, number increase, and all the things. But then we go even my boss and what say you have a friend?
Thank you very much, Mabel, and thank you, Monk. Actually, I did not listen to Monk's deliberation, but yes, I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. I want to say thank you to you again, Mabel and Monk, for keeping the show going. Also, I want to take this time to greet our people back home. Those of you listening in Radio Land, also on YouTube and Facebook, wheresoever you are following the Sktv, I want to say thank you to all of you for following us. You know, Melbourne is so funny, but some of us, we have the ability to keep track. We have the ability to take note. Many Liberians are not able to keep track or pay attention to details. It's because Joseph Boakai corrupt government, they continue to overwhelm the Liberian people with a lot of corrupt activities and issues that really don't matter to distract the Liberian people. When you want to catch them on one thing, they move the goalpost to another one. I can assure you, Melbourne, whatever happened today is out of fear, it's a bunch of lies and deception, and it is meant to do their usual thing so that the people can say the United Party people good at propaganda. I can tell you, what they did today is fake. We have the right information. The only person that they said move and the person confirm it is Representative Mema Bridge. All the other ones that you see over there is all fake and lies and deception and propaganda. So those who are using Representative Wongbe's previous post about politics and integrity has no relation, Wongbe was responding to Joseph Nima Boakai irresponsible and lawless behavior in his response to the Supreme Court. I don't know if I'm on. Mon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. We lost Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne will get
So,
back.
yeah, so I think we'll get back. But I would have loved to be on the radio so that people can hear it. So that Wongbe was responding to Joseph Nima Boakai's decision to ignore the Supreme Court's ruling and to flagrantly disrespect the Liberian Constitution. He couldn't come directly to say Joseph Boakai has no moral or integrity. That's what he went and said. So he said that politics and integrity have no relationship.
Politics
So I didn't call it morality or whatever, or integrity, something like that. But whatever he said, he was responding to Joseph Nima Boakai's action. If you can recall, previously, a day or two before that decision from the Supreme Court, Joseph Nima Boakai was supporting Koga, and Kun was supporting Koga. Koga and the group of lawless people are with the so-called majority group. Tawongo posted that tomorrow they will be flogged twice. They will receive 2 defeats. He said they will be flogged in the Supreme Court, while they will also be flogged in Nima County. Tawongo was referring to the so-called majority and Joseph Nima Boakai group. So when the Supreme Court decision came, and Joseph Nima Boakai went the other way around, opposite the Supreme Court and the Constitution of Liberia, that was Tawongo's response to tell the people that Joseph Nima Boakai, in terms of morality or honesty or integrity, his behavior shows that morality and politics they have no relationship. So you don't look at Joseph Boakai and believe that you will be, or you will use any moral compass to do the needful for the Liberian people. So nobody should depend on him thinking that you have the moral rectitude to do what is right. So people are now using that. If you go today and look at the post from Tawongo a few hours ago, he said, keep speculating. On the 13th, I will be there. I'm just focusing on my ECOWAS work. Tawongo said that. Also, most of the names that they call, most of the names that they speculate during that useless press conference, those were names that they previously took and add a few names to it. Names that they previously took when they deceived the people, some members of the of the House of Representatives that said that they were tricked, that they were lied to them, that they were not part of that, whatever they were doing, that is seen literally used and to ask the other name to A, making it to look like there are people moving towards them. And it's all fake, it's misleading. Don't even listen to it. I will advise you to watch. Go look at the post from Eugene Colley, Representative Eugene Colley, from district number 5 of Bon County. So everything that these guys are doing, they are afraid, they are scared, they don't want the people to stand up. So they try to make it look like, you know, they are, and they have the number just to counter what is happening. Because Austin Taylor, representative, that one announcement that he's with the rule of law, staying with the Constitution. There are so many other lawmakers who are following similar trend. So because of that, they decided to make it look like, you know, no, they are not losing, or the other people losing. But I bet you, let them call all the so-called 47 people that they say they have in meeting, in person, or let them come to show and be part of the quorum that they say they have. So it's all fake and lies and deception. Don't believe it. I just want to make that clarification. I hope no one can come back so that people can be part of this conversation. Muna, welcome. What's up?
Okay, SK, how you doing, Mr. Ken? I'm good. And you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just I'm working, and I hope maybe will come back to run the show.
Sure.
Yeah, but what's going on in Nigeria? Everything good?
Not really. Yeah. It's just they see industry issue and thing, but they strap the road. It's very, very bad in the bad condition right now. So, but I just call on to see how best that road will be fixed because it's very, very bad right now, the road. And can't stay using that road. Hoping that nothing should happen because when something bad happens, a whole lot of lives will get in that hole and become a problem for all of us in the place. And also the influx of Burkina bees encountering so much. And then people only say that those that bring in those Burkina bees, giving them forest, they should make sure that they go into proper discussions because for tomorrow it be a lot of serious problems because the Burkina bee, they are so much ingrained in their county or in the forest they are there and people are bringing them. Some they are following procedure, but some they are not. So we're calling on them that they should go into proper discussion, the right procedures for tomorrow. It shouldn't bring any chaos in the county. But other than that, everything is going on smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you make of what you just came and made a discussion in terms of these people? They are very good at distraction. Joseph Boakai disrespected the Constitution. Joseph Boakai said, "To hell with the Constitution." He disrespected the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, because the Liberian people are gearing up to protest against Joseph Baka's behavior. So the so-called majority now created some kind of fake press conference just to distract the conversation from Joseph Baka's lawless behavior, so that we can focus on them, thereby distracting the Liberian people from protesting and holding them accountable. What do you make of that, Muna?
You know what, Mr. Kenny, what people are doing, they know they are fighting losing battle. They are fighting losing battle because it won't stop the Liberians to go out and protest because what is happening. Now, when the president said 2023 election, he said rescue. The slogan that you see that he give no rescue Liberians and things. Now, looking at things the way he's doing, I don't think he can rescue the country. I don't think he can rescue the Liberians, but instead, he came to rescue himself and his government officials. Because if the president of this country that people voted for and those lawmakers in there people voted for people went in the sun, in the dew, they went on empty stomach to put them in power. If they can come out today to not respect the Supreme Court ruling, and then the president disrespecting the Supreme Court ruling, and then the respect for rule of law is not there, then I think he may know he's not going to rescue Liberians, he's not going to rescue Liberia, but instead he came to rescue himself and his government officials. And I won't stop there. They should really go and do 50. It will put Liberians going in the street and protest because what the president is doing, what even those lawmakers that people voted for, people went in some for them in due, they want enter someone no eating. If they can be in the house, they respect the rule of law, then I mean they mean well for themselves, they mean well for the people that even voted them. And even the president, none of these that's a bad or signal to the outside world. If the president of the country can say he was not respect the Supreme Court ruling and they respect the rule of law, the Constitution are drawing in the house there, in the marshal there, and in doing this, which means the president never came to rescue Liberians, he never came to rescue Liberians. Instead, he came to rescue the government officials and himself.
Mona, thank you so much. Maybe for some reason you got disconnected. You asked me, and I was about to talk, but then you got disconnected. I don't know whether we were on the radio when I was speaking. If not, I will reiterate what I said while you were off.
So again, let me say everything you were saying, all that you said was live, and you were live on the radio while we're doing some technical work behind the scene to make sure that we are reconnected or I'm connected with the team. So everything you said, yes, indeed, the people listen and they hear everything on the radio. But again, let me say thank you, Mr. Khan, and thank you.
So to Muna's point, I just wanted to add something really quick, maybe while the Liberian people are listening. You know, if you listen to that so-called press conference today, and you look at the roll call, the name calling, you could see that they were more focused on the numbers. The person should read and call the people the number, number 1, number 2, number 11, number this, number that, just to make it look like they have some number. I just want to inform the Liberian people that today, they themselves, their action prove that Richard Kun is not speaker. They call Richard Kun name as Representative Kun from District 11. They know Richard Kun is not speaker. And then they call his name. Also, during that call, what they didn't tell the Liberian people, they didn't show the Liberian people is that they don't have new list. It's not like they're bringing in new list, nothing whatsoever. The list that they had when they previously attempted to get the speaker on, when they were unable to do so because they never had a number, that's the list they still have. Most of the names on there are now with them. They are with the minority group. They even said that we are now with the enforcement department that they call their names. Some of them are suspended. Some of them are suspended, they're not getting paid. But they are lying that those people, come and sign up with them. The only person who confirmed that they signed with them is Mema Bridge from Sarara district there in Bon County. And for her, she's been very, very inconsistent from the start. One day she was the majority, and one other day she was the minority. So nobody really worries about where she stands. But I can tell you from now to the 13th of May, there will be a lot of moving parts. And it will prove what they did today as total lie, misleading, and deception. So I just want to make that clear to the people. Don't be moved by these, lies. These people, they are very good with propaganda, but that propaganda can only fly when it's not challenged. And I'm telling you, it's a lie. Some of the people that people are very furious right now. Some of the name the people over there, they are angry. Except from Mema Bridge, I can tell you that. So they are a bunch of liars and corrupt-minded people who bang on corrupting the country. And the only reason why they are doing this because they are doing it out of fear. They don't want the Liberian people to go out and protest against their lawlessness. And Joseph Nima Boakai giving safe haven to them and joining them to disrespect the Liberian Constitution and the Liberian Supreme Court. Melbourne, thank you. I just want to make sure Liberian people hear it.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Cannon, for that brilliant point. I think I wanted to ask Mona quickly before we go to Monk. Mona, I just want you to, because I listened, you were giving your own take on the entire situation, but let me ask you this question, Mona. What the reaction like from our people back home? How well are they receiving all of the informations, all of these happening back to back?
Actually, what is happening in the house there, the lawmakers, what they are doing, the people here, they are not happy. On a very serious note, they are not happy on what is happening. Because they put, if they were being in the house there, they went there, we voted for them to go in the house and make laws that will best suit the people interest in do things for our districts. But then they are in there doing things they're supposed to do. They are not going by the Supreme Court rulings and what is happening. The people here, they are not happy at all. They are not happy. They are they are feeling very, very frustrated. They are not happy.
All right, thank you. They are not happy. Yeah, Monk, what say you in all of these things, numbers increase or decrease, and all of the things you're listening to Mr. Kane? What say you into all of the
that's
political impasse that's still happening? Yes.
That's the irony of the entire argument, the contradiction that 1 minute of majority means nothing, but another day some people want for people to sway away from the Richard Cohn group and go to the Fanatico group so he can get that 37 and then claim a quorum. But on the other argument is quorum means nothing, even though the quorum is what the Constitution back as being the first procedure to do government business legitimately. So for me, I don't have, like I said, Nima County election alone tells you exactly what's going on. If people were actually against this thing, as people claim it is, the election in Nima County, Nima is just not your regular county. They have decided almost 4 presidential elections in a row, and they are the second biggest slice on the electoral map. I think if the people had Nima County have vehemently rejected Koga, then you can make the case that somehow they are ready for business. But in Liberia, the same old thing. Some people talking about protests, they were announced it before time. You all know it's about compromising and getting money. No protest survived in Liberia. So my brother, I have no interest in this thing. I just watching the drama because they decided to take another route when this thing was very easy, much easier. I learned that some religious leader met the president about negotiation. Like, this is some of the contradiction we keep talking about. If somebody is legal, you don't negotiate for his removal. I don't know why religious leaders and people, influential people in the community or the society, will want to go and strike a deal and convince or persuade the speakers to resign. And you were hearing that the rule of law caucus chairman is reaching out to Madam Salif. I don't understand. You keep confusing our people. That's why even if you are successful in carrying a protest, your protest will be dead on the rubber because you cannot make a legitimate argument about this thing. It's just one piece flying here, another day is something else. So for me, that's it. I'm going to enjoy the drama at this stage because I saw the drama coming. I predicted this drama because there were so many options that were given to settle this thing. But unfortunately, they decided to pick winners and losers. So why not? Maybe next time you see there will be a prison cell in the house because one guy just installed a steel door panel. So you got more to see, maybe.
Well, you get more to see.
So
So
I
want to ask you a question quickly before you come. But go ahead.
Let me respond to this before I lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
So for Monk to say that there's no legal justification or whatever, to this conversation in terms of what's happening in the House of Representatives, when there's a problem in the country wherein everybody is confused, everybody is somehow, fighting for results, especially when it comes to issues that will create chaos in the country, it is the Supreme Court that is the final arbiter of our laws. Because anything that will have to do with the survivor, with the well-being of the country, it becomes constitutional matter. Now, no matter how well me or Mong or all of us here think that we know, the framer of the Constitution, they know better than us because they know they were in the right mind when they decided to put all of these things in the Constitution. And also those who are close with the authority, those that have the power to interpret that constitution are telling you that this is what it is and this is what it's supposed to be. Who are we to dictate to the Supreme Court of Liberia as to what is lawful, what is not unlawful? You know, when people talk about three branches of government or co-equal branches of government, everybody get their own responsibility and functions. Anything that got to do with running the day-to-day activity of the country, that is totally the responsibility of the executive. Anything that got to do with making laws, creating laws, that is the responsibility of the legislature. Anything that got to do with interpreting the law and understanding the law and telling the Liberian people what it is, whom the Constitution also gave the power and tell the Liberian people that the decision of these people cannot be changed or amended by any other branches of the government or any.
Well, I don't know what happening to Mr. Connor. Mark, are you getting Mr. Connor?
Not really. I think he's
okay.
Off. Maybe technical issue.
All right, that's good. So you will join us anytime by the time he's set. Yes, indeed. So check. I don't know how about if you are set and ready. And we'll also bring you on. Sheikh Sharif, we want to say good evening to you there in Nima. I don't know, quickly with speed, what you can give us all the happening there in Nima County. Then before you chip in on what we're discussing here this evening. But welcome to the Monday edition of the SKTV show. My brother, go ahead.
Yes, good evening and good evening to the entire team. Good evening to you, Muna, and good evening to Mom and the rest of the guys. They've been having a fun duration in their work. You know, Liberia thing, it's not easy. The network not easy, so it been delaying me. Put it on the computer or whatever you. So, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad I'm on the show this evening. So yes, Nima is relatively kind, and everyone are going by their normal businesses. The issue is the role from Kanta to Sktv-Lib. The other time during the time of the campaign, the vice president made a pronouncement that this rule is going to be on a pavement, but as it stands, the citizens believe that the machine put on the rule is not from the angle of the government. In the rehabilitation process is kind of about exporting the rule, getting them more muddy when the rainfall. They have been heavy put down of rain in Nima County. So living from Sktv-Lib to Kanta is seems to be a little bit difficult now. Motorcycles are charging heavily because of the heavy mud we put on the road. They were just doing everything to make sure that to track them out of the citizens. That's why the citizens were saying the road issue not be like a campaign, but it was seen to be like a campaign issue. But from Sktv-Lib to Kanta now, it's so hard, difficult to go there. So before leaving Sktv-Lib to go to Kanta, you gotta wake up early in the morning to make sure that you get to the parking and then find your way out, because the motorcycle are kind of constrained to get to Ganta. The quota king, the alpha pavement king start a little bit, the halfway, portion by portion, but the other portion between from Kokopa all the way coming to Sktv-Lib, it does not have quota, but from Kokopa again, from Yasno, a bridge they call Yasno, all the way to Kokopa, that in between there is very, very, very bad. It's difficult to get to the quota side. So the citizens are saying that they should speed it up, and the way the motorcade, the kind of paving the road is not really coming out well with the citizens. It's causing a lot of problems for them. So next thing in the district is the issue of the Supreme Court ruling. Since the Supreme Court gave ruling to the minority bloc, who is the chairperson is Honorable Musa Hassan Benete. It's not very smart. It's not very easy thing in the district. Maybe also the citizen are not like it's been well occupied by the ULA party members, especially the District Maseri. It's not very smart. Even us, we have been haunted as a radio station. Just yesterday, we understood that there was a planned meeting by some ULA party elders in District Maseri to come and burn down the radio station, because this program that you bring on is kind of like the trouble in there here. that this white UFN should bring such a program, in Nimba County, you're insulting the president. Liberia man, when you tell them the truth, it means that you insulting them. So it's not coming down well with them. They want the radio station to be removed. They want it for the meeting. The citizen, how can a citizen plan to remove radio station without government consent? That's one of the things they want to plan a meeting. According to them, it was a meeting it was a reconciliation meeting to meet the lawmaker. But how can you go to a reconciliation meeting without calling the district coordinator, without calling the chairperson for the CMC, without calling some of the hierarchies of the radio station, without calling some of the hierarchy of the office from Mr. Musa Hassan Bedete? He just wanted to play a meeting, but the meeting leaked up yesterday. The chairperson for the CMC, with Jeremiah Binyagan, came on the radio last night, every day, and then it leaked out the meeting as to why some of the things they discussed the last night. But then morning, early this morning, somebody on the other sister radio station, rebuking this guy that they didn't go to the meeting to harm anybody. They didn't go to the meeting to remove QFN. They didn't go to the meeting to burn down QFN. But why did he go to the meeting? They said they went to the meeting to make sure that they bring peace in the community. But why didn't you invite somebody to the meeting from the radio station or maybe from the office of the lawmaker? So it's not easy on us, because especially for the program, you speak the truth. We come here, we speak the truth, then sugarcoating the lies to our people. Like when we tell them the truth, and I mean, if you insulting them, how we can insult? I can't remember when do we insult the president on this radio or the vice president on the radio, besides telling the Liberian people what is right or what is wrong. And exactly that's what's happening here in Nimba County, especially from this part of Northern Liberia, Central Nimba County. I was in district number 6 again, just over the way, and the issue of water. The other time, I said people are still drinking from the creek water in some of the towns in district number 6. That was the district of Honorable Duan Glikia. District number 6. The people are still drinking from the creek water. When the people are washing the upper part of the water, and then the down part, people are enjoying it, drinking, they're creating serious trouble to them, and running stomach, children getting sick in some of the towns and villages in district number 6. So far so good. Maybe that's all from Nimba County.
Thank you, my dear brother. Let me say thank you so much for all of I got the update to our people that quickly before I go back to the questions, maybe to ask you about the lawmaker or the impasse or the Capitol building. Let me just say there quickly to our people that in Nimba County. Let me be frank with you all in Nimba. I know how some of you feel, and I know you think that maybe you want to produce president. That's a good thing. You already produced vice president, and you want to produce president. But let me just say this quickly to all of you there in Nimba, those of you who are supporter of maybe the Unity Party or the Rescuers, right? Or the Rescue Alliance, The best thing to do is for you to accept every Liberian or every citizen in Nimba, no matter which political party they come from, no matter which tribe, no matter which religion, no matter which radio stations, no matter where they work, accept all of them so that you all can be able to work together. But threatening media institutions, that's the bad thing to do. Actually, when I received that information, I told her, I said, no, this is very, very embarrassing. So I think Mr. Connor will be able maybe to send communication out, maybe to the Ministry of Information. I think that would be good, Mr. Connor. If we reach your office, we are getting this kind of a terrible report that people are threatening people, but even though they are debunking or maybe they are refusing some of the claims that it's not a reason why they went for meetings, but the people or those people who went for that meeting, I mean, you just say it quickly, they are good Nimbadians in Nimba. Just stop spoiling the people's name because you want to protect, quote unquote, your political party or your alliance, and you want to lie on people. We not come here for any other political party. We come here to speak truth to power. So when all of these accusations
So maybe for some reason I received a very important call and that kind of interrupted me when I was talking. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I'm hearing about threatening who. I wasn't following.
Yes, sorry. Check our team from Nimba County. They are reporting to us that there was a series of meetings that have been held in Nimba based on the broadcast or that we do. That in fact they are threatening, according to Sheikh, that they want to burn down True FM Nimba just because of this show or this platform. So that was Sheikh is reporting to us. So that was thank God you're here, and I think it will reach your office, and you'll be able maybe to take any kind of uh, maybe uh, actions. Maybe you want to send communication out there to the government or either way. So I wish you.
So let me say this to Sheikh. Sheikh, are you listening? So if Sheikh is listening or whatever the case is, I will speak with Cyprian in the back, and then we're not going to come here and tell the public what we do, but I can assure you everything they are saying is just a bluff. It's just a bluff. It is our fundamental right to freedom of speech, to freedom of expression, to freedom of association. They cannot tell us what to do. They cannot tell any other Liberian as to who they can support or what they can do or what to say. Freedom of speech is a fundamental right of all Liberians. But Sheikh, the last time you guys spoke of something that came from the I think the superintendent or somebody else. And the other day, while we were on the show, the city mayor of that place called and presented or counterfactual information with regards to our broadcast, and we were able to refute and debunk that very effectively. But you know, there are a lot of people that listen to the radio that may not know exactly what is going on. But it is our responsibility to let the public know that our work, everything we do, we are doing it to inform, educate the Liberian people on a daily basis. We don't have other motive. If somebody want to stop us from speaking out or from broadcasting or from sending information out to the Liberian people, they are not fighting us, they are fighting the Liberian people. But when you Sheikh and the entire management to communicate with us everything that we need to know in terms of the threat, whether it's video or audio or a write-up, whatever it is, send it to us, and then we can take it from there. But we don't want to tell the public what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But Liberia is supposed to be a country of law, and this government is known for not being law-abiding, for being very lawless. And the chief executive, the person who's supposed to be the father of the country, is now the one in the vanguard of destroying the fabrics of our democratic system. Because for democracy to survive anywhere, the cardinal value of any democratic tendency is about upholding the rule of law and respecting the Constitution. Because that's the only thing that can protect everybody. And if that organic law is under attack, it is incumbent upon all Liberians, both in the diaspora and in Liberia, to fight against those who are against our country. Remember, if you look at the part of the Constitution that talk about treason and sedition against the country, abrogating the Constitution is one of it. Not respecting the Constitution is one of it. And what the president did, if you speak to any lawyer or any legal mind, they will tell you abrogating the Constitution, disrespecting the Supreme Court, not respecting the rule of law is considered also as a sedition. It's a treasonable offense under the laws. And I believe that's the reason why most Liberians now are gearing up to fight to make sure that we don't lose the constitution and the democratic value, as a nation. So don't worry about it. Let's carry on our show. If the Baga government or the United Party decide to go and physically harm or attack anybody or any institution, they'll be doing that at their own detriment. I can tell you that. So I will say that, and then make sure you forward to me all the information that we need. I'll be having a conversation with the management of Truth FM, and then we can take it from there. Musa being the chairperson of national security at the House of Representatives, I don't think he too will say by allow any out of lawlessness, to go on without taking a stand, whether it's against him or any other Liberian or Liberian's institution. So let's not worry about that. Let's do what we do. We're not going to beat the law. We're not going to violate any law like they are doing, but we're doing what is, our responsibility. That's why the media is called the fourth estate. You have three branches of government. The media is called the fourth estate as the representatives of the people. So it is our responsibility to do that. So we're not going to cave in. We're not going to actually be deterred by any level of intimidation or harassment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kana. I think you knew everything. So that go back to our discussion. I have questions, and the question will go up across the board. But with the issue of numbers now, a new resolution been talked about, are the majority bloc sensing that for now, or maybe they believe that in fact they don't have speaker anymore, or because they were running around with this that in fact that they have speaker. But how come now they're talking about new resolution and their numbers and so forth? What say you? And that question go across the board, because I'm a bit confused.
So yes, the people, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. You said you got speaker. You said you got a resolution. You said the speaker is removed. 6 months later or 7 months later, you're taking new signature to remove the speaker again? So how many times can a speaker be removed? So that is to tell you what they are doing. It is out of fear, because they are losing bearing. They are losing track. They are losing traction. Right now, it's not good for them. They don't have what it takes to continue to carry on the lawlessness that they are doing right now. Majority of the people, majority of Liberians, let me tell you the truth. People are getting calls. People are getting communication from their constituencies, reaching out to them, telling them, we know you guys are there representing us, we respect your judgment, but what protects this nation is the rule of law and the power to legally interpret the law is only vested in the Supreme Court. Now that the Supreme Court have spoken, now that the Supreme Court said Fanatic Kofa is the speaker, if you are representing us, you got to respect the Supreme Court. That's why you are seeing some movement, and they are afraid. So they try to counter that movement to make it look like there is a counter movement. Yes, indeed, Mema Bridge, she was very clear, and she was very, very inconsistent in our deliberations, because she said, I am with the rule of law, I support the Supreme Court judgment. But then he said, however, I will vote to remove the speaker. I thought I said the speaker will be removed. I thought you already have a speaker. call for nothing. I mean, Richard Kung. How can you working on your game removing the speaker? So their action today informs the Liberian people that everything they've been doing with Richard Kung is null and void because they don't have speaker yet in their own action today. For them, Fonati is still the speaker. They have lost their support, but they are yet to legally and legitimately remove Fonati Kofa. So because of that, they don't have speaker. So everything that they did, everything that Joseph Nimabwaka said they've been working with from the past is null and void. Because they were done illegally, because they never had any speaker presiding over the process. So today they are fighting to remove the speaker again that they say they already removed. But I can tell you, Melbourne and the entire team on here and the Liberian people listening to us, the fight is all about propaganda, it's about optics, it's about showing, like, for example, when the opposition had press conference, you saw them. They say opposition have 3 or 5 political parties, and they say they got some kind of 21 party. They bring some useless people that are in their own party and call and say they're something of some kind of party. 21 party, 21 useless party that nobody knows about. Nobody can even tell their names. So these people, they just believe the same way they came to power through propaganda and lies and deception, they can continue to govern, and that's why they're finding it difficult to govern the country. And Liberian people are not stupid. People are paying attention. It's all lies and deception. They try to make it look like they are counter. They are there to counter what is going on from the minority side, because people are moving. People are understanding the fact that Joseph Nimabwaka is fighting the Constitution and the Supreme Court, and the Liberian people are backing the people. So they're trying to make it look like, we too, we have some movement on our side, but nothing though. Nothing. Zero.
Mr. Cannon, thank you. More, what say you with all of the quote-unquote after having speaker parading around that in fact the majority bloc speaker even signing onto the budget. Now we're hearing about resolution. What say you?
And that's the confusing part. I keep talking about that. I say you keep watching more drama, because here is a conflicting argument. The people say we have more than enough number. We don't only have a quorum, we have the majority in the House that makes all the plenary, and the plenary the higher decision-making body in the House. You said no. The people said in the case of legislative impasse and in the absence of the speaker, the deputy speaker presides. We have the deputy speaker. You said no. And the people went and passed a budget that you accepted, even though you claim that their speaker is not a real speaker. The Supreme Court is saying Fonati Kofa is speaker. So if the Supreme Court, if you are backing the Supreme Court and say the Supreme Court said Fonati Kofa is the speaker, then more definitely Richard Kung cannot be speaker. So how will you have a problem again when they put it, we don't have a speaker? The problem is you cannot have it both ways. I bet you none. If Fonati Kofa can carry on some political maneuvering and get 37 to do business, all these people you see crying here that quorum is not necessary, they will be on Fonati Kofa's side. That's just what I say. For me,
Mom, not to agree with you, Mom. That is the process that's been going on. Remember, since the Supreme Court rule, Fonati Kofa was very clear. He said he's going to be reaching out to his colleagues. He's going to make sure he will bring them on board while he work on transition. Fonati Kofa said, I agree that there are a problem with my colleagues, but I'm not refusing to move. But we just want to do it legally. I'm going to be reaching out to my friends, to other people. Let's find a common ground where we can work under the same roof and try to make sure we do the thing rightly, we do it legally, and so we can do some transformation, some changes in terms of transitioning from my leadership to the next leadership. And that can only be done through legal means. So that core has been adhered to by many of the lawmakers from both sides of the aisles. So that's the reason why there are some movements from all sides, and then the fear that Fonati Kofa could possibly have that 37 that you're talking about before the 13th of May. That's a fear They are fearing. They're trying to make it look like they too having some movement on their side, but they are lying. It's all fake.
But what I'm
and
saying,
deception. Yeah.
if it was a numbers game, nobody will be complaining about movement, because the new narrative is the 5 lawmakers who they project to be on the side of the majority black, they are just putting out a bluff. What the other people on the other side now saying, you know what? They are playing a long-term chess game. They want to create this illusion that Rachel Cohn is much closer to 49. So that when they
yes, exactly. That's what they are doing.
But the question is, I mean, you know, it all depends. I say everything is done in like, bro, with the expectation that people are stupid and they don't read between the lines. If you want to tell me that this so-called 5 that claiming to be in support of Rachel Cohn, if their only goal is to get Rachel Cohn closer to 49 to force a vote on the horse floor, only for them to go do secret balloting and support Fanatic Kofa, why you got to go through all that? Just go and rally your individual and bring people to make Fanatic Kofa group chat is sharing, and the whole thing is over. But no, so everything is all gamesmanship, everything is all political plot. It's not about the rule of law. We know that now. Okay, it has nothing to do with the rule of law.
I disagree. I disagree with that vehemently. One side, they are not about the rule of law, but those who say do it the right way, follow the constitution, maybe among to say those are not about the rule of law, I think that would not be fair. You know, it would not be fair to them. Because that quest has been do it the right way. We're not removing the move. As Fanatic Kofa say, I'm not refusing the move. And all the members of the minority group said, we don't have problem of removing the guy, but just do it legally. So to say it's not a rule of law, that would be unfair to them, in my opinion. Because that has been their fight. Let's follow the law. Let's follow what is constitutionally legal. Don't do anything outside of the Constitution. And that's the reason why the higher court of the land, the final arbiters of the law, say, you know what, this is what is legal, and this is the best way to do it. And whatever you are doing is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and that's not the right way. Who are we not to say no? When the same constitution says that this Supreme Court, when they make decision, nobody, their decision cannot be amended, cannot be altered, cannot be challenged. Their decision is final. And then you say now the rule of law maybe among. I think that's unfair.
So, Mr. Khan, let me join you and also agree with you on what you are saying. I think most of the lawmakers, especially from the minority side, all they are saying exactly is that they do the right thing, they'll be able to get the 49 and remove the man. And Mr. Khan, if you go back to the battle speaker or whether the few time or even that his interview, you also talking about transition, right? I don't know what some of you follow. You talk about transition. That means he's already have that mind or that plan that if maybe after everything's settled, you're going to resign. And maybe have his colleagues, you know, having their will. Maybe
so maybe I'm going to be leaving soon. I'll come back on. But let me say this before I go. You know, if these people who are saying that they have the number 47, 49, 51, whatever they say they have, why are they afraid if they legally, legitimately have the number? Why are they afraid to go in one building, all of them together, and have first new election? If, in fact, as a matter of fact, election does not require 49. You understand what I'm saying? It does not require 49. Election require only 37. You already claiming that you got 47 right now, 48. Granted, you have 48. Why are you afraid to go through first new election? The 47 people that just committed to you, you can have all of them going and vote to make Rachel Cohn speaker if you really have the number. But they are lying. They have nothing. They are lying. Judge the people you saw today on camera, the people that they have. All the other names they were calling are fake. Because the person when they put their name and they put him and say, I'm not part of what you're doing. You misled me. Whatever you're doing, I'm not part of it. And they don't put them someone in the court to them, you know they've still put them pay for 6 months, 7 months.
Every
time they name that are not taking pay.
Yes. Every time most of the names. And
to prove that to you, Tawumbo, who name was the first person they called today, Tawumbo wrote right after that nonsense. He said, you keep speculating. You keep speculating. I'm going to be back. I will focus on my ECOWAS work. I'm going to be back on the 13th of May.
Yeah.
So some media people there in Liberia, they don't even know how they can process information. Some of them are very dumb and stupid. I saw someone, oh, that one may officially John or this. Hey man, people they don't read between the line. That one way and the ANC people just, they just, brought Chawemwe back. Communists being one of the people that have been fighting for the rule of law. ANC being one of the party that been fighting for the rule of law, like the CMC, like other political party in the country. Where in the man who just joined, who just came back to his own party, will go openly and slap his party and the political leader and tell Liberian people in his own district, in the face. You can't read between the line. Anyway, Liberian business, our business, we're not going to get tired.
Yes,
anytime they lie, we'll come, we set the record straight, we tell the Liberian people the truth. And the truth is, these people, they are fake people and they are lying to the Liberian people.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Kane. So, Muna and that Monk, you can hold the show a little bit. Let me transition for the
news bulletin. I know it's interesting.
Yeah.
Remember, I want to listen to the news bulletin though.
Yeah, I'm trying to set up now. It's not very
okay.
Easy.
Yeah, go do that. More Melbourne can take care. More Melbourne can Muna can take care while we listen to the news.
Wow, man, I got drug call. Muna, why say you? For me, I'm gonna enjoy the drama. I have no.
Mon. You see why I said Liberia can go up, we can't come down with just one play. Because we fail to do the right thing. We fail to follow the right procedures. That's what happens when something happens. It will go long and the end result and serious problem that will happening. It's very simple. You guys get the number. Is it for Nanikofa is not at the honorable is not refusing to move, right? But you guys get a number. That do the proper way. Not because yesterday the writing was not done, so today it can't be happy. No. So that that the majority block causing all the chaos, causing all the problems. They never move fine. But now you guys come up for a right procedure and then I move. Then the whole thing be done with. But because in this country we fit for the right procedures, once you are saying the right thing, is in my interest, I'll go against it. That's what happening. That means like Liberian go up, we can't come down. We have our countries around us, they are developing. They are left improving, but we stay there. We can't go up with just one plate. We all, but nothing we can show in this country. Affecting all the system in the country is broken on the system because we feel to do the right thing. Now they love the country doing that in the house there. Lawlessness everywhere. The majority block causing the chaos. Fine. For Natikofa is not refusing to move. He's not refusing to move. But you guys do the right thing only because yesterday it didn't happen, so you can't be happy today. No, you can't say because yesterday the right thing was not done, but was not taken, so today it can be. We keep on our zero. It can be. So that they come out. If our they didn't want right, we all will go sit down for Natikofa. They may resign. They will go election. Anyone resign, Honorable Kun will be speaker. No, they will go election. So let the law make let us see reason to see a best for the right procedure. The country, the government law now man. So they will find the right thing to get better.
So Muna, just to agree with you, what I'm saying here, want to talk about enjoying the drama. That's exactly what it is, and the drama being created by the Unity Party simply because they wanted to have both houses under their control. They already have the Senate. If you don't believe me, go read what is written by the Liberty Party political leader. I read it 3 times. Like one of my Ghanaian instructors used to say, he said, this writing is good, but the Senate did not come out. Like you will read it 100 times, you can't understand, you can't even get a sense out of it as to what was written. Because you want to be on record that you wrote something. It was so disjointed and so confusing. But that is done because they want to be on record that, oh yeah, when the thing was going on, we said something. The problem of Liberia right now is all from Joseph Nyima Bwaga and Jeremiah Kum. And all of these things were orchestrated and executed by Jeremiah Kum simply because you want to consolidate power. So he can have total control over our budget. He can decide who to be what, who to do what. Unfortunately, for not over being a lawyer, also a law-abiding citizen who understands the law, who is not one of those puppets, stood his ground, said no. And luckily for him, he has other good sons and daughters of the soil that say, you know what, we will stand with the law. Not because we have any loyalty to Fanatic Kofa, or Fanatic Kofa is giving them anything, like the way they are giving their people money every day, using the country money to put them in a hotel for 3 months. Each of them paying $250 US a day for the hotel for 3 months. Imagine for some more people of the Liberian people money. People, they just think Liberian people are stupid. But the matter is simple. If you think whatever is going on is about number, you have the number. Man, you have quorum. That the quorum you need to even win an election. So go put your matter before the legitimate quorum, chaired by the legitimate speaker, Fanatic Kofa.
Who's the legitimate quorum?
Legitimate quorum is a quorum that will be on a legitimate speaker.
Oh, so the people,
yeah.
So even though the speaker cannot even establish a quorum, but the people who got a quorum, so they go and sit on the speaker, right? The people who assemble together, that's not quorum. Oh, okay, I get it.
That's your gathering. What makes a quorum is the legality that makes a quorum. Let me tell you.
Legality is 37, the bare minimum. That's the majority established a quorum by the single.
No, 37 is just a number. That gathering they have over there is not legitimate until it's presided over by a league, but let me tell you something. Liberian people are listening and they can read between the lines. You know, it's like 2 million people say today, we don't want Joseph Nyima Bwakai. And let's say 2 million. Let's say 3 million. We share the country, we have 5 million and so. So let's say 3 million people gather today and take signature and say we don't want Joseph Bwakai to be our president. That 3 million is more than 50% of the total population of Liberia. Does that make it legal for Joseph Bwakai not to be president, even though that's a majority? Because the constitution says, in order to be president of the Republic of Liberia, you must be voted for by the Liberian people who participate in the election process, at least 50 plus 1%. Now, if you just go by the number, you don't go by legal process, you don't go by no electoral process, you just go by the number, just because you got a number, you go and take signature today, say 3 million Liberian people say they don't want Joseph Bwakai to be president. So therefore, they say Mon is their president. Does that make you president? No, absolutely not. In order for you to be considered president, the so-called 3 million people, they must do it through electoral process. They must follow the Liberia Election Commission. They should go and cash a ballot box under the authority of Liberia Election Commission. That's the only way that number will be legitimized. As long as the process to getting that number is not followed, it is always said what is not done legally is not done at all. If you say you have the number, you have 37 number. Since 37 is a quorum, 37 is a majority in the House of Representatives. Why are you refusing to go to have an election so you can have your 37 and win legally and make your legal or speaker. But you said you have the number, so we all should get it right now and say, oh, because we don't agree to Joe Baka to be our president. We got 3 million people go on the street. They sign up because they sign the paper now. That's the majority of Liberian people. So ultimately, Baka is no longer our president. That's lawlessness. There's only got due process. That's why laws are written for them to be followed. That's why you have authority.
So good. Let me ask you one question, right?
Go ahead.
The country now for at least, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. I guess we are seeing the removal of more than 4 or 5 speakers in this country, or anywhere for that matter. Where in the world, since you've been in America, you ever saw lawmaker assembly in a chamber to claim that they need the constitutional number to remove a speaker, that they got to do hair count that when you get 49 or 50 to remove a speaker? When last you ever saw it?
So
not only in America, but
you just asked me, right? So to answer your question, most of the removal of speakers I have seen in America here, the speaker in question can be right there on the floor with them. The process, they can follow the process. They follow the legal process. They don't go outside of the chamber to go somewhere just to get a few people. They say, in fact, people are telling you, oh no, I did not sign. Oh, you did not sign. In America, they don't do that. They assemble in the right chamber, in the legal chamber, and the speaker in question that they want to remove, that speaker can be right there. And in the face, they will stand up for him against him. As a matter of fact, speakers that have been removed in this country, for the most part, is done by their own people, by their own conference. And that's the reason, because of the reason for that, because they disagree. But for some group of renegades, people who
disagree, because the speaker cannot get the number to make it legitimate, which is the quorum. That's why they keep removing speaker. They don't go and vote to live for the hand. Oh, the U.S. Constitution say out of the 524 lawmakers, you need 301 to remove him. The moment the speaker cannot assemble his quorum, it ends his speakership. That's
no.
You don't want to agree to.
No. Let me say this. Let me say this, Mom. The fact that the speaker is unable to form a quorum, that in itself incapacitates the speaker for being a speaker. But in order for that speaker to be removed, after that speaker have acknowledged the deficit in his power and strength to preside, it is up to that speaker to say, you know what, based on what I'm saying, I'm going to resign. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to follow any process. You don't have to vote. You don't have to get any required number to remove me. The fact that I do not have the number to have a quorum, for me, I believe I'm no longer needed in the leadership. I will resign. But Fonate Kofa refused to do that because that's also his right. His right to resign or resign to stay there. They are also the right of the other speakers in America here. But for them, they believe their removal is legitimately done because certain people don't want.
Okay.
But other people who are doing it in Liberia, they are not doing it because they actually, lost the confidence of the speaker. They are doing it because some political egomaniacs want to go and have control over our budget. They want to have their own puppets on there to pass anything they want, to give them any amount of money they want under the darkness, so that nobody will not know. And that's what Fanatic Kofa say. I don't care about moving. I can move today. But what you do, follow the legal process as it is clearly stipulated in the Liberian Constitution, also by extension the rule of the House of Representatives. Now, what is so difficult? If you have the number, what is so difficult of converging in a legitimate House have a meeting, say, you know what, Mr. Speaker, we will ask you to recuse yourself. You have lost our confidence. We don't believe you no more. We have problem against you. I want you to recuse yourself. The speaker will recuse himself. Then you carry on the process, and then you can decide now how you want to carry on the process to remove him. You want to do it by hair icon, you want to do it by signature, that's up to you. But the process is you must file your complaint. Your complaint should be debated, and the members of the House of Representatives should have the opportunity to debate it and take action. But not for few guys to go start spending money in the back of the Liberian people just to get somebody removed. We all know in Liberia, this whole thing is done because of political maneuvering, because of people having their eyes on 2029, and they want to illegally remove the guy so they can have control of the country. Everything going on in Liberia right now, people are divided, in two, different ways. Number one, there are people who believe that everything going on right now in this whole saga is about struggle for 2029 by Jeremiah Kuhn, whose action was also endorsed by Joseph Nyima Boakai. So for that, majority of Liberian people said, that's wrong. Do it the right way. You can remove the man, that's okay. But remove the man the right way. There are other people too who are Unity Party supporters who believe that as long as done by the Unity Party is the right thing to do, regardless regardless of how they do it, whether legally or illegally, as long as the Unity Party is doing it, it's okay because of their partisan politics, because their party, loyalty, and also family member being in government, because of their government. Anything the government does is the right thing to do. There are other people too. As long as Fonatek Kofa has something to do with the CDC, because the hatred they have for the CDC, because the problem they have with the CDC and CDC government in the past, so anything have to do with the CDC is right. Whether you do wrong to them or you do bad to them, as long as you do it to the CDC, is the right thing to do. That's why the country will never go forward. And that's the problem we have had with people. I am the least person that you can count among CDC supporters. I don't support CDC. I don't like their policy for the 6 years they were in government. And I don't believe that George Weah is fit to be president. Equally so, I believe CDCians are Liberians. They have the right to exist. And those who are legally voted for by the Liberian people to serve in certain capacity should be given the due courtesy, the due responsibility to carry on their duty for the Liberian people. They should not, their right should not be, taken from down simply because they are sedition. That's my belief. I believe every Liberian, regardless of political affiliation, your tribe, or your country of, or your country of origin, or your religious preference, should not be the determining factor to decide your political fate. It should be based on issue and it should be based on legal process. That's the point. And I'll rest my case.
Wow, great, Mr. Caleb. Even though sorry that more quickly 30 seconds, even though you people wanted to follow the news bulletin, but due to some technical glitches, we were unable to televise the news. But again, we moved. Thank you so much for that wonderful team piece. I think that makes sense, because let's be frank, more quickly before you come in place.
Go ahead. Take your own time.
Mr. Connor said, this country is almost divided into I don't even know how many parts. And Mr. Connor, right? So a group of people feel that in fact they are the only Liberians. Other people shouldn't talk, other people shouldn't say anything. It's bad. That's the kind of society that we live in today. That by the time you talk, they already ready to burn you as the other person and the other group of person, and because they think that the entire continent is just about CDC and Unity Party. So by the time you talk, yes, But Monk, that's the fact. By the time you talk, they either say you are sedition or you have a United Party. So then what kind of country are we living in that no any other person have their free will to talk about issues or national issues until they got to term you as this and that? So the fact at Capitol building, Mr. Khan, you say, I think that's the right way you put it. These are some of the reasons why these fights are still continuing, even if you go on social media. That exactly that what you see. People think that because it's Unity Party, so whether it's wrong or not, they will support. People think that because maybe quote unquote they don't like Francis Kofa, so they will talk. People feel that because they just did that. So that one I don't want to add up to you quickly before go to the number, go ahead, Mark, and then Mona.
For me, I listen to Sekou, and the only thing I took from Sekou session is the idea that it was the speaker choice. When this whole impasse started, we came up with certain conclusion on this show. We said the first option, the people from each electoral district, they should go and force their lawmaker to join the legitimate speaker. That was one. The second opportunity we had on the show was when the budget came up. As far as I'm concerned, in any bureaucracy, the budget is a law, and the budget is the biggest instrument in the federal bureaucracy. Keep the budget hostage so we can settle this thing because it's a political matter. That's what they call a constitutional crisis. A constitutional crisis happens when you have a political dispute that cannot be resolved by basis of the Constitution. That's what we say on the show. And I will keep saying it. I don't care who say what or who say what. Whether you say that Joseph Boaga or people want power or people looking for 2029, those things are speculation. All my analysis here is just based on the very same law. You cannot keep saying one thing and expecting different thing. According to the Constitution of Liberia, to be declared legitimate to do any business on behalf of the Liberian people, you must have 37. That's a constitutional provision. To become a speaker, you must have 37, which is a simple majority. But you want to tell me a guy who cannot put forward 37 of his own colleague, he's still a speaker. That's what you believe. I know whether it's in the corporate boardroom or anywhere or election or even the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court is coming up with an opinion, they get the majority and the minority.
So let me ask you a question. No, but let me just ask more a question. More.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. If the magic number here is 37, why is it that now the crew that have the 37 are afraid? You just said that only 37 can elect a speaker. So the crew that got the 37 now, the so-called quorum, why are they afraid to go give them the message as
no, the group with the 37 called themselves the plenary because they don't only have 37, they have way above 37. But you don't even want to acknowledge the 37 that the very same constitution established. Then how can they make the case of going on the House floor? Because I know when you have the
number, you can't do that. You can't ignore the question, my man. Listen. Listen.
You don't even have
the so-called plenary, they know they already have the number, they have the legitimate number, not only to have a quorum, but to also vote and make a speaker. Why are they refusing to join their colleagues and they are 100% sure that they have the number to have a vote and to have an election wherein they can use the 37 number they have to get the legitimate speaker? Why are they afraid to go through that? Why?
So, Mr. Kana, quickly follow-up question to that. Also, Monk is still or maybe jumping over something because Monk listed all of the way that people can do business and do that. But then Monk, let's go back to the removing part because I think that's where Mr. Kana coming, because you want to talk about the speaker being there or maybe the people doing business and the part, the quorum and so forth. Yes, we agree. But then the removing part of speaker, the same constitution says 49, and they are only 43
that's just one aspect.
Or 44. So then what happened?
Maybe if I'm a teacher and I give you a test, I say, maybe you got to score 100%. I can give you a test and say, maybe the requirement to pass the test is 100. But I got another option. I could give you the test, you could score 70, and I get another assignment I could give for 30 points, I will give you the same 100. This 49 is why the Constitution says you need to remove a speaker. But equally so, when you don't have 49, if you deprive a speaker of quorum or his legitimacy, he's no longer a speaker. That's why I reference, I say, Sekou, anywhere in the world. I don't care. I'm not for Fonanti Kofa, neither am I for Richard Kun. Anywhere. I live in the country. I saw the removal of Eric Kenton. I saw the removal of John Boehner. I saw the removal of Kevin McCarthy. There is nowhere in the world where they want to remove a speaker, lawmaker, where some of the team want to go do voting. Oh, we got to wait for them to remove you. No. Once a speaker loses his legitimacy, his inability to conduct quorum in America, we call it conference, his speakership is done. That's why I said from day one, anything else, you are looking for a constitutional crisis. That's why I said that Supreme Court Chief Justice, she's a partisan hack. Because when issues arrive from the House, the Supreme Court does not interfere, even in this great United States. Once it's coming from the House,
more for all indication in this case. For all indication, Monk, in this case, you will pretend as if to say you're not for nobody, but you for somebody. Myself, I'm for somebody. Let's fix the facts. You are supporting Richard Kun and Richard Kun's position in the particular matter. You may not listen. You may not love Richard Kun as a person. You may not be a United Party person. But in this case, you are fighting tirelessly, to defend the indefensible, just to make the case for Richard Kun. And I'm telling you.
All right.
And that just it. Mr. Kenneth Monk, I think the entire city.
Yeah, let's go to the line,
because the lesson that we're going to maybe leave behind for our children, that will matter. Because won't be seen as maybe forefathers who were, once upon a time, breaking the laws, just doing things, because nobody's stopping anybody from doing what they want to do. But what we are saying is that go back in the same usual business place. Now, even they go back quickly to what happened today. We woke up this morning seeing a steel door or iron gate right to the entrance of the main chamber. So what's going on with that, Mark? Are you sensing? Are you? Yeah.
Go ahead. When they in your thought, I thought you were done because you were breaking up. So
no, go ahead quickly because no more time.
Before we go to the land, when the thing was getting heated, right? When this whole argument was getting heated, one of the recommendations made the Sktv will say, Fonanti Kofa got to cross the aisle and try to negotiate. Because the one thing the Supreme Court established in the whole process of legitimacy is there are no written laws in the House Standing Rule, and there is no provision in this Constitution that will compare the group that left to come and sit under his gavel. That's why the Supreme Court said in their ruling. So it means, I said, it's undefined. The one or two options you have, either the speaker resign, or if the speaker cannot resign, he might as well go and find the support of his colleague to give him that quorum. Once Fonanti Kofa can establish 37, we could care less about how many days the so-called majority black can stay in the hotel room. It wasn't that a conclusion, Sktv?
Exactly, okay. You are right.
So what different am I saying here today? It's the same thing. That's the two options. I told you before, I said once it gets to the Supreme Court, that's why you will have a constitutional crisis. Because when the Supreme Court said, okay, the action of the majority black, you can call it improper or inappropriate. At the end of the day, there is no law within our Constitution that provides for these lawmakers to come and sit on the gavel of the Speaker, Fonanti Kofa. So then why are you going with this thing? If that is the case, then where are you going? You're not finding a solution. That's why we said, let there be a political solution, because the Constitution will never give you a solution in the horse matter. Call the former president, call the international stakeholder, make some concession. That's what politics is all about. Politics is not about being right or wrong. Politics is all about making concession. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Before I can give Milburn something, Milburn should give me something in exchange. That's what politics is all about. But in this case, people want to pick winners and losers. And every time they attempt to do that, it will be a constitutional violation. That's why when the president made a statement that I will only work with the group that will give me quorum, I said, boy, he's right, technically. Because if the president interferes in this matter, it's also a constitutional violation due to what we call the separation of power. But the very Constitution says the quorum is what gives you the legitimacy to do the work of the Liberian people. So the group with the quorum happens to be the legal group, whether you like it or not, because that's what the very Constitution said. But if you want to take it to maybe another court, I don't know. For me, I'm just enjoying the drama at this stage because I don't know how to explain this stuff. Everybody got their own opinion. I'm not I'm not one of the best legal scholars in the world. I am just giving precedent that happened all over the world. Matter of fact, one day we sat on the show, I gave you an instant. I said the very same constitution that told the president of South Korea to declare martial law, it was the same constitution that interpreted it, said no, he violated the same constitution, even though it gave him the right to call for a martial law. So constitution provisions are not for interpretation.
And more follow up quickly before we go to the line. Also, are you telling me that the majority bloc speaker, who now his colleagues already declared him as your common representative that signed the national budget? Are you saying that that was right? That's the best thing to do?
Well, that is up to them because they are getting inviting more drama. If they call him speaker and they head for the plenary and the other people say no, even though you got a quorum, you got more than enough number than a simple majority, but still you are not a speaker. What you wanted to do? I thought the Supreme Court say he's not a speaker, so you want to keep claiming the speaker title.
All right, let's move to the line quickly because the calls keep coming back to back. Please, 1 minute per call for all of you who are listening to us this evening. This is the SKTV show, and yes, indeed, Liberia is getting better. Someone will say yes. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel, and let me say good evening to your panelists.
Yeah.
This is David King, and I do join you from our Smell resident. You see, I don't know, they still from home keep coming back to back. I think Mr. Cannon said it right. One want to behave if to say he's a neutral person, but he has an interest, and interest is Representative Nagweko. So I do not know why are they going back to the Supreme Court to fire in, because during that own roll call after the Supreme Court ruling, they were referred to as Representative Nagweko. All right, in that roll call. And even today, in the conference room where they were having that quote-unquote press conference, there were two persons that were missing, and they were saying the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk are not here in a phone, perpetually switched off. And you could see all of them trying to dial number, the deputy chief clerk and the chief clerk number, and it was not going through. So what has become of the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk not being in that gallery where they were seated today? And Mr. Cannon said it right. They just try to inflate number to play the trick that we Liberians will buy into.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Quickly to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, maybe good evening.
Yes, my dear, go ahead. Your name and
I'm David Sherry. I call from Kakatown City, Magdivi County.
Good.
I'm taking it back with the issue on discussion. I love the SK show. But we in Liberia, as Liberians, are getting a little bit fed up and frustrated with the manner and style in which Sekou Kana is proceeding. Sekou will not be taken serious in a Liberian situation because I think he's one of those that is trying to kill the fabric and disturb the peace in this country that we long fought for.
How?
Because if you look at the objective of this whole sagas at the Capitol building, you get to know that this is a political situation and it must be resolved politically. I must give Monk a flower on his back because Monk is the only guy that already tried to interpret the Constitution objectively. He tried to tell us the way forward in his layman analysis. He always told us.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Quickly to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, my dear. The name and from where you join us.
What did that point say to Honorable David King that what he said is not true? The outcome of the...
What's your name, Chief?
The outcome of the meeting today was read by the...
Hello.
Omnipotent Sion. So there was no way that you were absent. Yes, hello?
Yes, I said your name, sir. Go ahead.
My name is Charles Akpan. I go from Kingsville.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but if any of you can help me, is there any provision in the Constitution that explicitly says that all sections of the Constitution must be presided over by the Speaker? Then how can you interpret Article 33? Those are my 2 points I want to be.
All right, so it's good that someone needs to come up so that we also can read, because some of us, we don't easily read our Constitution. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel.
Yes, go ahead, my dear.
This is Louis, Irresistible Tony. I speak from Bushwa Island.
Thank you. Even though I told you to call me, but I don't know what happened, but thank you. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you. I like to say hi to Kanin, and I like to say hi to Mon. Mom, you have my back on my back. Mom analysis is perfect and accurate. If I eat a United States apple, I take mom for lunch. Mr. Conan, there's a kind of argument. He has a poor value judgment in analysis. Monk said something. Let's assume that majority block get 40, they got 49, they got 40. And then Fonatic got 25. And 10 abstain. 10 in that part of majority, in that part of minority, 10 just abstain. They say, won't get out. We'll say about ourselves. Majority get 40, they get 49 to be speaker. But the speaker get 25. When you live there on 10 year or 5 year, the fact that you lost legitimacy because the speaker white is to get there, they still want to do the white. So if I'm a sponsor in the class, I can get half for the student. I have to resign from that. Monk is saying, like Christian abstain. Majority blood, I even get 49, they get 40. They on their own. The speaker get 25. We'll go 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Should that person still remain as speaker? They're forced to get 49 to money. The fact that I can get 37 to pass budget, to sign law, to do treaty, to sign loan agreement, to do bilateral agreement, to sign concession, because you need that 37 to do all those things, to sign the budget. So if I can't get it, so I'm an important speaker.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, my dear.
Okay, thank you very much, neighbor. Today's hour that is coming, I joined a discussion for Ominga market and legacy of neighbor. In this country, I think nobody knows the law as compared to Supreme Court judges. We have what Supreme Court judges, they are the people that are knowledgeable about the Constitution. People coming up at this time talking about Constitution, this article, those have been negative without focusing on it. Our focus is now the legislative focus on Supreme Court decision, declaring the majority of as illegal group. Those groups, they are not group to group certain way. So therefore, let me say this to all people that are investing in this country. I'm concerned about them because whatever kind of investment will be declared, even people who have company and who have bring benefit without group in this country, that will come. And then the government comes to power, they will have serious problem with it. Some of them will be taken to court, will get serious money for operating in this country illegally because our group are illegal group in this country. All those that have the country that went before our group, they are doing illegal business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take 1 or 2 more calls. The WhatsApp line also is blinking back to back. Hello, today's caller, good evening. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Chief. Yeah, go ahead.
What is happening in the world there? We somehow found a long time before the ETC. But let me tell you something. What the people doing over there? Look, we all need to stand up in this country. Nobody might be party they can run one thing and go and project that tell about people. They just taking people in the country and now book 1 year. We don't want you to one live our life, they are trying to live their life so they can enjoy the country. Why they keep the Judah Pagaya control the country outside that? Why? Just that you're on the video and start to see the report. Say other people just come here and talk a whole lot of facts. What is this?
Hey, speaking Bibi Bodu. All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman. Today's caller, hello. All right, how about question? I can go to Shaq from.
You know the power that the mega 25. You're supposed to get 37, you get 25, then they get 40. Why you get to the man they want it, man? They want mega lead a player.
Well, they made. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they want mega lead a player. 25 man behind you, supposed to get 37. You got 25. Then the man got 40. Then they want mega lead a team. Oh, they got one, the country got shaking.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe the last call about the WhatsApp line. People keep calling me. Hello?
Thanks for having to be your last caller. I'm Ellis Kodu. I joined you from Nima kind of represent Passenger Dispensary.
Oh, wow, that's good. Thank you for joining us from Nima.
Okay, thanks so much. So the question is, President Braga took the power with majority or the constitution. I want to carry my back the 2 times about the early won the election. The reason to do our second round is the constitution.
Indeed.
It is not about the majority. And the Supreme Court made it understand if you have 1,000 men over there, once you not part to the proper tenor, it's illegal. So we want to control our constitution. So the fact remains, you have to get your 49 You sit before honor a gamma. At the end of the day, you raise your hand and identify your signature and proof to it. Then you can come out and say, yeah, we are removing the speaker today. You have it in one one, they say they have the signature to remove the speaker. So they are not to the laboratory, but they up to now, they don't have speaker. So all I have to say is I warn the president of Wanga. Then you come out to believe in majority. And today, the 5 million voter, registered voter in this country, and 3 million come and say, President Wanga will not mean you. Definitely should go by it.
All right, thank you, the WhatsApp line. But Sheikh or Muna, any of you can take calls. Then later on we'll go to the WhatsApp line because some of our desperados also want to be part. But go ahead, Sheikh.
Yeah, Muna, I think Muna can take a call. I'll take the last call. The last segment call. Yeah, the last call segment.
Take calls?
Yeah, Muna can take call.
Let me take a few calls, then go back. Good evening. Caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor, and your co-host in the diaspora.
Name and calling from where?
Yeah, I'm Peter David Castle. I call from under the street light in Lower Johnsonville. Thank you guys for the fascinating discussion this evening. You know, one thing, and Joseph Barker needs to understand is Liberia is constitutionally democratic. That means Liberia is governed by law, not by men. So the Supreme Court is the final arbiter and the higher court in the land. They have rules. They told you clearly that Rachel is not a speaker. So why is there argument from Joseph Barker? You know, so the issue of the execution of the Supreme Court ruling is not an option, Joseph Barker. It's a constitutional mandate. You told
Thank you
to defend and protect the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Why are you confused today? Because you are mentally depleted. Cooperation on you by the Unity Party and the President of the Republic of Liberia.
081 14 35 04 07 76 105 105 081 14 35 04 07 76 105 105. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Name and calling from where?
Yeah, I'm calling from School. My name is Isaac.
Welcome, let's hear you, Isaac.
Yeah, you know, we don't have to solve calculus math before we understand this. Article 33 of the Constitution is very clear, and Article 3 of the Constitution is very clear. I don't know why opposition has already explaining this on social media. The president came out with common sense. And for one part, there are 3 branches of government. The president cannot rule over the legislature. Those guys are elected members for every constituent district. So you cannot say because you are a presidential, since the Supreme Court, who know that the Supreme Court is the final officer of the land, and the Supreme Court cannot enforce those guys to go on political fight. So the president make it very clear. And today the people read a resolution. They read a resolution, they put with a number. So what there is for people to be accurate?
Thank you. Good evening. You're live. Name and calling from where?
My name is Madi. I come from the
17 brother. Madi, people laughing your voice, yeah?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, what is on my mind? First of all, I want to thank you for this platform. I want to thank all of the community, and I want to commend you for this topic. But what is on my mind is that everybody keeps opposing the president's leg into this thing. But first of all, we need to understand that this is a constitutional matter, and all has to do with the laws of the country. And Liberia is not a President Walker's or personal property or his home that he is controlling to say, you this child that did this thing, I will give you punishment, come on the side. This is a whole country issue. So people should stop shaping blame. We should stop shaping blame. And Speaker Kofa is saying that this situation is going against me all of the time. So as a certain Liberian, I think I just want to make this appeal to he and his colleagues. that you see reason for this country to move forward because from here, the country is at a standstill. Everything around this country, in and out, is at a standstill. Even in our home, everything, just even to get a soap. So irritate like you have to be teaching it. The country is at a standstill.
Thank you.
Our people need to understand this situation and learn like we have to move forward.
Okay, thank you so
We
much.
elected them for them to do better for this country, for our future, for the children of this country. Now for them, we elected them for them to put Liberia first. Thank Liberia and build Liberia. Thank you for having me the time.
Thank you, my dear. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Name are calling from where?
Ali Kamara calling for District 15.
Ali, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you know, I tell you, thank you for the top honor discussion. But you know what getting what happened in this country? The people now have the country in their heart. They have a bunch of money while they can take. They eating it when they come. They speak people because the country man some of us we don't understand it. The problem in our house. The Supreme Court say you are a legitimate speaker. But you know, we confirm know that we should go to get forum. And Supreme Court can not get power to go and tell everybody who go to that on alignment. So you, why people are saying the opposition are saying they want, why they can go there and talk to their colleagues, the same member of CDC that left their party and go to Kun to say come back to all. Why they can go and rob it? So you want to tell me say Baka will go and they bed with 10 person, 100% are not there. Why people taking the country to be country and no, the public now have sense. If they are still going to do it, they're going to do it.
Yes.
Let me say one more
time. Let me just go to the WhatsApp line quickly because our diaspora people too they had a paper they call it back to back. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say one more question. Go back to you.
I'm Maise calling from Rafiawi.
Maise, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Concerning the discussion. So the United Party people, the president, but I want to tell us that the way he now start the problem here, so the way he didn't listen to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is the highest decision making in this country. Supreme Court came out with their ruling, and then he said that he will work with the people that got it so wrong. So he wants to tell me, said, why he's starting now? And we the people will look at him. And then the way they made starting, they say, we look at him. Any election come in this country, 2029, they will definitely look at it and break the election. And even come first, they don't come first, they will say, I didn't want to win it. See what is starting in the country, like what we're looking at. So, they are not.
Well, thank you. Quickly, Mona, because we already going out of time. Let me just a few WhatsApp calls that keep coming back to back. Hello to this one.
Problem coming here too.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Neighbor is back to you.
For picking my call. This is Abraham Connor calling from the United States.
Neighbor?
Yes, Mona, they called already.
Yeah, he's back.
Listen, I want to differ. I want to vehemently differ with Monk on this show here today. There is a rare meat that Monk threw out to United Party people, and I think he said it properly. To come on a show and call the Supreme Court Chief Justice a partisan hack, I think that's completely wrong, and I will admonish him to take it back. Reason being, on our Supreme Court bench, Jemima Wolokoli is an appointee of Unity Party. Justice Johnson is a Unity Party partisan. Yami President support this Unity Party. And the first time they ruled, when it came out with the order of our decision, it was unanimous. Yami President only differ with this particular bill of information, and then he could not even defend it at the time of argument. So the thing that even if let's assume that the Supreme Court Chief Justice decided to take another side, but what happened with the rest of the people? Even Baka's own appointees, Councillor Johnson. Why could you call her? He couldn't call. I mean, he can call her Padre Haga, but the Chief Justice, Monga differ with you on that.
All right.
Because the first thing is that if you get a quorum, the quorum is telling you that it must be presided over by a legitimate speaker. That's the law.
So come here and circumvent it and make it appear. By the way, if you speak like it, definitely it kind of becomes difficult to balance the neutrality and objectivity here. You don't call this.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Connor. We take one or two more WhatsApp calls because the calls were really coming back to back. Then we'll cross over to our team because of time. We have to go check. Hopefully, yeah, it's a back. Let me see quickly. Hello to this caller. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, indeed, we are great. Thank God. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yeah, go fast. I think
Hey, God. Yes, go ahead quickly. Sorry.
Or listen to the Supreme Court. The ruling was the other side, any side in the country can get even 200 people. With the speaker present and he's not involved, that's not a quorum. But he keep referring to the number as quorum when the Supreme Court was very explicit. This time it's not ultra virus. In fact, the question the judges asked those guys, lawyers, is like, where was Mr. Kofa at the time when this fake election was going on? They said he was in the other room. And it made them know that in as much as he's present, he cannot be ignored. So he must be there for it to become a quorum. And the leader who spoke and said anti-Kofa needs to be patriotic, man. People.
God, yeah. Yeah, go ahead quickly so we can leave. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I think we gotta go no more time. If another WhatsApp call comes, then we will take that call. But Mark, I think you listen most of the callers. Yeah.
Yep. You know the problem. I tell folks before this election, we told people that the only way Liberia will make progress if they can stay away from Unity Party and CDC, because at the end of the day, that's the lenses from which people are seeing this thing. And I listened to one of the callers, he said, the majority is not a group to do business with. But yet, the so-called minority does not even have the authority for to do business with them, so it makes no difference.
So more let me just take the last WhatsApp call because it's very bad calling me back to back. Hello to this caller, good evening.
Hello, my name is Wanda Freeman.
Okay.
Okay, look, I think the Liberian people are bringing too much emotion to this thing. So there's a lot of.
Oh, God. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. I'm getting you. Listen to you, please. No time.
Okay. Yeah. But just a minute. The first thing is, one, the Supreme Court has decided. So the legal angle to this thing is finished. There is nothing to be said legally. But that is not the end of the story. That means it leaves the political side. Fonati Kofa must get that 37 persons. Anything short of that, they have to have a political solution to the problem. So, but I would like to support the position of Monk when he says that nowhere in the world that somebody who is a speaker, knowing that he is not able to muster the quorum, will still stand up and say, I want to be speaker. But because those guys have access to millions of dollars, okay, I know very well under no circumstance when you get muster a quorum, you will sit down and say you want to be speaker. But they take advantage of the ignorance of the Liberian population generally, and they damage the country. And when they finish, sometimes they pack the things and.
All right, indeed, thank you. We got to go now, no time. Yeah, Mark, sorry, you were talking, but I think, sometimes some of our people in the diaspora, we don't really give them that time to call, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to make this point. For me, I'm tired of sounding like a broken record on SKTV. I know people must see it from a political standpoint. From the time I understood the nature of this particular case, I knew there was a political and a constitutional component. That's why when the Supreme Court was coming with a ruling, I transcribed the speech of the Supreme Court Chief Justice when she mentioned that certain individual rights under the Constitution were violated. That's the position. She's not ignoring the political aspect, but she said certain people's constitutional rights were violated. So she sounded more of an advocate than someone who was trying to settle or legislative scope. The one thing that I will tell anyone on the show, you can call me out for Fanatikova or for Richard Cohn. The one thing that I know, whenever there is a political stalemate, there is no way the Supreme Court is going to step into that. You know, people always tell, oh, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law. They are the higher court. We understand that. But are you aware that lawmakers can change the jurisdiction of a Supreme Court? That they can make additional law to rulings? Do you know that lawmakers can overturn the ruling of a Supreme Court by changing the structure and jurisdiction of a court? That's why the first branch of government, when there is a problem among themselves, Supreme Court does not interfere. But you will never accept that. You want me to sit here and tell the Liberian people that the people that have more than enough number than the quorum, they are not legitimate. But a speaker who is required by the Constitution to assemble a quorum to even be recognized as a speaker is the one that is legitimate. That's why I will never do an SKTV in spite of the outcome or in spite of who get affected, because I know that's a global standard. And when they say, oh, in our law, the Supreme Court, the final arbiter of the law, yeah, every country in the world, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law, but there are certain exceptions. So it means that because they're the final arbiter of the law, they can just take a sign. Everybody gets to agree because they're the Supreme Court. That's not how it works, my brother. So whether you like it or not, whether you feel I'm here for Joseph Boga to blow his trumpet, that's not the case. If Fanatikov were in Richard's own shoe, I would make the same case here. Thank you, guys. I'm out for the day. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you. Check. Ladies, before gentlemen, let me see. Maybe, yeah. So that our sister go, Mona. Yeah.
You know, but for being what all I can say now, my closing, let us follow the right procedures so that our country Liberia can move forward. Only whole body wants to say I say holding so you can't cure anyway. So let us follow the right procedures in the best interest of the Liberian people in our country as well. Many thanks to the callers, listeners, our followers have always been there for SKTV. Do join us tomorrow, same time, same station. Until then, Mona and Lagria wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, my sister, for a job well done. Brother Sharif, yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, for me, just being mute a little bit today because they start a discussion soon, and the networks seem to be giving me a very tough time in bad today. But it was a wonderful discussion, and at least today we achieved our goal, and that is all about democracy. That is all about Liberia, and we have to get our perspective views, you know, and everyone's view can be considered because in this country. We must live by the law, and the law is what guides us. Even though they say the law is not respectable as it stands, right now the Vera Maestria Code, the Vera Police Station is the law they follow. So if you say you can't respect the law, and I mean the way Mon speaks today, myself, you talk about partisan issue in the law, but for me, he took his side today. I wanted to be on the line to tell him this, but he took his side. But however it is, it was wonderful. It was good. We hope we'll meet there tomorrow, and the network shouldn't give us trouble today in Nimba tomorrow. Sorry, that we all come on time and make sure we bring the program. And this program always be and to tell you, maybe we'll not be afraid of anybody. We'll not be afraid, and we can bring our.
Let me tell you on our own Nima team. Let me tell you on our own Nima team. Don't even be afraid. All these things used to happen during the elections. Today, while we stay around, don't ban these things. You know that what can happen sometimes when people are in slavery because the politician put them in slavery. So it will take our people years before they can even graduate from some of these things because they see these things as way of talking to their leaders who put them in slave or maybe in slavery. So for me,
so that's it. We will not be afraid, and we hope we have our father. For me, I work with my 35 manpower most of the time. So
all right, thank you. Thank you so much, my brother. So again, to all of us, my people, we look. We should not allow only the layman to follow the rule of law. You know, all of the time the layman or the poor people cry for injustices. And we just say, oh, these things are glaring. You know, these things are all glaring now because Every time the poor men will go to court, they will not get good justice because sometimes they feel that they don't have money. Sometimes they feel that their rights have been overlooked. And these are things. So when you hear the poor people crying, telling you that, no, you do the right thing. You go back and follow this procedure. So for me, it's the insult that a common man out there will be telling that what you're doing is wrong. Then that means there's no need for them to even send you to the house. Because for you to go to the house to represent people, that's something heavy law that you are carrying. So for you to be carrying any kind of law on your head, then you acting like some kind of person that maybe that just come from nowhere, or maybe they don't understand anything, then I don't get it. So all of you people who are lawmakers representing your various districts and who are always maybe into some of the attitude, what we are saying tonight is that go back and do the right thing and remove Jeff Nanti Kufa. Let the law be the law. The law shouldn't be only for the poor people. Then those, I don't know, some of the lawmakers just think that in fact that you're above the law, and you will go back to the same court after your 6 years. You see, you just do a contract. The law people that gave you the contract or their job for 6 years. That just 6 years. So don't abuse the law because that same law will come and protect you tomorrow. Anyway, good night to all of you people. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Mr. Kanem. Thanks to Bizena Monk, Muna, and my brother Sherry. Good night. From our end, we'll catch you. That will be on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. All of our viewers, indeed, you are so great. You are wonderful. And our listeners also, thanks to all of you, our callers. Indeed, one Liberia, and all of us love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia, and abide by the rule of law, and we all will live in peace. Thank you so much, and let God bless you.